I'm going to be making a trinket tray today using the lovely technique that I've seen Wendy at Toonpish Crafts do. She did a video the other week, a bowl, and used some sellotape to take off the mica powders around the outside, and it looks absolutely stunning. So I thought I'd try that today, and as my Toonpish Craft holographic chameleon powder range has come in, I'm going to be using these. What better powders to use than those, eh? So I've got all these colours. There's indigo green flack, green mauve, rose gold green, copper gold, and there's turquoise and pink and purple and magenta. So these are tiny little pots, and I don't want to waste any of these beautiful colours because I want to go around the outside first. So to go around the outside, I'm going to use Let's Resin chrome powders, and I'm going to use the purple. So I haven't used this one yet, so let's get that lid off. Finally got a bit of rain. I don't know if you can hear that in the background. It's been so hot lately. It's nice to have a bit of rain. Right, so I'm just going to dust all the way around the outside of this tray. And while I'm doing this, I'd just like to say a massive thank you to all my subscribers. And thank you ever so much to all my new subscribers that I've had lately. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. You're all amazing. Thank you ever so much for your support. So I'm just going to work my way around this tray. So I'll finish off doing this, and then once this is done, I'll come back and then we can move on to the next bit. So that's all covered now, all around that inside rim. And I've tidied up the top area using some 99% alcohol. Right, so next, I don't think I'm going to use all 6 colours of these today. I think I'm going to use 3. I'm going to use the purple and magenta, the copper gold, and the turquoise pink. So I'm going to start off by using the copper gold, and I'm just going to go over the entire area on the top here with the gold. So brushing that all over. And also thank you ever so much for everyone that's sent me a coffee or a super thanks. That's really appreciated. Thank you ever so much when you do that. It does help me purchase new things, so any money that I do get does go straight back into the channel so I can bring out new videos. Right, so I'm just going to cover all of this, and today's video is part of the Friendship Express train that's organised by me, Susie from Serendipity Resin Creations, Tina from Pour Resin with Love, and Amy from Resonating Art by Amy M. So there will be a playlist in the description box if you'd like to go and check that out and see all the lovely things that have been made by the other 3 ladies. And Steph from Highland Homemade Crafts, she joined in last week on our Saturday Splish Splash theme, because we're going to be doing a different theme every month. So if you'd like to join in, just drop one of us a message. Right, so that's that colour all done now. So next, I've got some sellotape, and I'm just going to crunch that up into like a rough, not ball, but so it's like got spiky bits. And I'm just going to take off some of this gold using this tape. Not sure if that's taking it off enough. Let me see if I've got a stronger tape. Let's try some sellotape, see if that takes it off better. You do have to keep switching up the tapes because after so many dabs it loses its stickiness. Right, so I'm just going to keep doing this all over this top layer and then I'll be back. So that's the first layer all done with the sellotape, and I did end up taking my gloves off because I was just sticking to myself and making it a lot harder than what it was. Right, so next I'm going to use I think I used the turquoise and pink next. So I'm just going to go over the entire tray again using this colour. And with the mica powders, whatever colour hits the silicone first, that's the colour that will show through at the end. So we're just going to keep layering this up with the 3 colours. And if you haven't seen this technique that the lovely Wendy has done from Toonpish Crafts, I will pop the video in my description box so you can go and take a look at it. It's absolutely stunning. Right, so that's nearly all covered now, I think. Just going to make sure I've got everywhere. Right, that's that one done. So now to start that process all over again. So I've got some duct tape this time. Just going to break off a little bit and then scrunch that up. And then we're going to do the same process again by taking those layers off. When I first saw Wendy doing this technique, it really reminded me of the old rag rolling technique that we did on the walls with paint emulsion. Do you remember those days? The old rag rolling. I think I did my hallway in, I think it was like a blue and a cream. I think I did my hallway. Right, so I'm just going to carry on doing the same thing now and taking off this layer. So I'll do that and then I'll be back. So that's that layer now all finished. So there's a space there for my next colour, and I'm going to use the purple and magenta. So I'm going to do the same again and pop this all over the top. And then this will be our final layer, so we won't be taking this off. We'll be leaving this as it is after this one. So just covering all over this tray. These powders are lovely. Can't wait to see what this looks like. Right, so that's all our 3 colours on now. Just make sure I've got everywhere. I think I have. Right, let's pop the lid back on that one so I don't knock it over. Right, so all those colours, gorgeous. Right, so I'm just going to go and mix up some resin. I've mixed up some Let's Resin Epoxy 1:1 resin, and I'm going to add to that some of the Decorom black resin paste. So let's pop some of that into there. If I can get that squeezed out. There we go. Nice blob in there. So I'm gonna get this thoroughly mixed in. Remember to scrape around the sides when you're mixing all your pigments and your micas. That's all nicely mixed in now. So I'm just going to really slowly pour this into my mould. I don't want to introduce any bubbles down in all those little beady bits around the outside. So I'm just going to go really slowly and let the resin find its way into those little bobbly bits. Taking it nice and steady, and then following it round from the other side. Hopefully I've made enough. Maybe I haven't. Might need to make up a little bit more. Because of the way the bobbly bits are around the outside of this tray, you do need to fill this tray up right to the top. Otherwise you lose those details on the edges. Well, it might be okay actually. Yep. Yeah. Just enough. I'm just going to scrape out my last little bits. Don't want to waste any of that. Right, so just going to leave this to cure now. Let me just give it a quick torch first of all. Pop any of those bubbles on the top. And this is just, it's classed as a cigarette lighter. I don't know if you can see that flame. It's very, can you see it? It's very fine. So just going to pop those bubbles. Right, we'll leave this to cure now, and then I'll see you back for demold. This is all cured up now, so let's pop this out and see how it's looking. Ooh. Well, it's stained my mould, but it won't make any difference to my next pour, so I'm not worried about that too much. Right, let's have a look. Oh, wow. That technique, Wendy, is absolutely stunning. Look at all those colours and those lovely mica powders. Absolutely gorgeous. Right, so how shall I finish this off? I've got these two, what are they, dragonflies. And I was thinking of putting those in the middle there. I think they will look quite nice. So these are stickers. They're not DTFs. They're just normal stickers. So let me see if I can get the, oh yeah, there we go. Right, let's put that one down where I want that one. And then line this one up as well. Have them at the same sort of angle. So, oops, I keep catching my finger on the tray. Right, so I think there. So I'll put that little chappy down there. Right, now this one. Take that one off. And then pop that one down. Let's try and get the right angle for his tails. I think that would be okay there. Yes, that will do. Give those a good smush down. And because these are not DTF stickers, they're just normal stickers, I do need to give this a top coat. So I'm just going to mix up some resin. I've mixed up some of the Let's Resin epoxy resin, the 1:1 resin, so that's there. And I'm just going to add to that some of the Super Sparkle White from Tracy at Mini Scenes GB, just to give it a little extra bling. So I'm going to pop some of that into there. Pop the lid on that before I knock it over. And then give that a good mix in. It's only going to be really shallow, so I'm not too worried about introducing bubbles by stirring it, because I can get rid of those with a torch. So I think that's mixed in nicely. So I'm just going to give this a thin layer just to seal in those stickers. Right, I think I'll just swoosh that around. Don't want it to come up too high. It's just coming up to the bottom of those little bobbly bits. Right, so I'm just going to get my torch. Just got this little cigarette lighter torch and pop any of those bubbles that might be there. Can't see any, but just to be on the safe side. Right, and I'll find something for that little leftover bit of resin, and then I'll see you when this is cured. This is all cured now, and with the leftover resin I just added some pink mica powder to it. I made a little frame, so I'll probably make that into a fridge magnet. And I also made one of the little turtles. And there's my tray all finished. So thank you ever so much, Wendy, for showing us this technique. I absolutely love it. I think it's stunning. And I do love this tray mould. I do love that. And if you haven't got any of Wendy's holographic chameleon mica range, then do pop along to her website. These are absolutely gorgeous. I've really loved using these. And don't forget to check out the playlist and stay tuned for the pictures at the end, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.